Okay, I've got 6 o'clock, so I'm gonna call the planning board meeting to order at this time. Are we recording?
Yep.
Okay. First of all, I'd like to ask for a roll call, starting with Melanie, please.
Melanie Kelly.
Jeff Leffert.
Ian Lee.
Emily Lee.
Right here. Vince Beeson.
Christina Fisher. Karen Lyon.
Okay, thank you, everybody here. And Jeff, welcome. Have you on board, appreciate it. There are minutes from last month's meeting in front of you, most of you should be. You look them over quick, and if you do not have any questions or comments or any suggestions of changes you'd like to make, then I would like a motion to approve them.
Make a motion to approve.
Brian, that motion, second please. Make the second. All in favor, please say aye. All right, thank you. I take we have no public hearings today. Okay. Go to reports. 26-01, amendment to floodplain regulation.
The letter that I sent was tomorrow.
Sorry, 1 second. So you got sent 2 letters?
Ashley sent a different. She was Walton.
Yeah, so in the terms it goes
Yeah.
still.
Right,
I didn't know.
I
she
realized
sent
that
it.
after I.
Yeah, you would.
So if you have the letter for tomorrow, then you can still leave it tomorrow.
Yeah, she does. That's what I sent.
Okay, sorry.
No problem. Okay, we're ready for the amendments to the floodplain
Okay,
regulation.
so if you skip past all of the strikeouts. I should have put page numbers, if I usually get in trouble about that. The highlighted portions are the portions that, so this is FEMA and DNR requirements, so it's nothing that I'm actually changing, it's the requirements from the state and federal government of changes to our floodplain. You guys really don't have any, but in the fringe you do, and so because of that, we have to make amendments. You'll see as I go through this, there's stuff about a lake. Obviously you don't have one, but they make us adopt the template ordinance for all of them. So in case it is relevant, it's in there, I guess, or you create a lake if you want to. So if you go to the first highlighted portion, this is the definitions section. So they're just putting in a lot of different definitions, aerator, critical facility, this would be anything like a hospital or police or fire. They're saying these are critical facilities, and so they should meet different standards because we don't want any flooding to happen on critical facilities. So we'll talk about that here in a little bit. Dry hydrant, that's more towards your lake information. Flood related erosion, again, that's just a definition. Glacial zones, definition. Public freshwater lake, that's a definition. And then repetitive loss, which would be more relevant to us, is that if there's a structure that continues to get taken out by a flood, basically they want to specify that as a repetitive loss, and so there's some different standards that they have to take now. Solid waste disposal facility, obviously don't really want those in flood areas either. Temporary structures, those are for lakes, so I'm not gonna go into the lake stuff unless you guys really want to, but I don't think that's really used. So the couple things is that, on the 3 and 4 are in reference to the freshwater lake too, so I'm not gonna really go into those, but they are identifying the AE district and the A district and what they're allowed in those. Again, you don't have a lake, so those are just their standard template of what we have to adopt. We even talked about putting page numbers, so I apologize. So, the next one still is just talking about the freshwater lake information. the section B, general standards, in addition to the all new construction, substantial improvements, they also have that new definition of reconstruction or repairs of a repetitive loss. Would also have to meet the standards, in a flood area. Non-conversion agreement, so if they're in that area, they can't convert, so if they're not meeting the 2 foot above base floodplain elevation, they can't convert anything that's the lower floors into living space, so accessory structures wouldn't be able to be converted, agricultural structures wouldn't be able to be converted. That's really their concern typically is the living floor, and mechanical, not so much if there's a crawl space with nothing in it and the water can flow through it, they don't really have a problem with that, so that's what that is. And then the new construction for any hazardous, waste isn't permitted in those areas, obviously, if that makes sense. In addition, on the next page to the Article 5, Section B, the special floodplain hazard and protection from flood damage below the flood protection grade, so that's below that 2 foot. The building protection requirement applies to the following, so they have to actually provide additional protection, and that reconstruction, repair made for repetitive loss is just added to that section. And then, the next one, they have always kind of had there had to be openings for water to flow through, said it better that time. But they are actually specifying the size of those now for water to, flow through. Those base floodplain elevation, areas where you can provide those air vents and kind of the size of them. Another new portion is that they're actually making you do if a foundation is in that base floodplain elevation, they also have to provide fill that kind of angles out. So a minimum of 5 feet beyond the foundation. And then the type of fill, obviously clean, clay materials. And then if a non-residential or accessory structure is over 400 square feet, which is the next highlighted section, they have to provide the flood proofing without human intervention. So sometimes the flood ones will have like a door that they open if it's gonna flood. They're saying if it's larger than that, they actually have to automatically come up themselves or be vents that can already just have flow through. This one kind of was weird for me on the manufactured home and recreational vehicles. If the skirting isn't attached, it's not considered part of the home, which makes sense, but typically we want the skirting to attach if you're talking about building code. So, but basically it's not considered as part of the structure, in that scenario. And then the standards of subdivision, these are just items that basically they're wanting you to keep the creeks, make them more of a park area in subdivisions. If you have that through a subdivision, don't cause additional issues to the floodplain, those type of things when you're doing subdivisions. And then the standard of critical facility, again, they're basically saying they don't want it into flood protection or special flood hazard area, but if it has to, they want to make sure that the main facility is above that 2 foot. I think that is it. Again, these are always general ordinances that are passed down to us from the state. So they are kind of mandating these changes, and so that's why we brought it forward today. Do you guys have any questions of what I presented, other than maybe the lake doesn't make sense whatsoever? But that's just, like I said, a standard in the ordinance. Okay. There's no
Got any
questions?
questions or anything? All right. Thank you very much.
Yep.
A little confusing, but okay.
Yeah, it is. So this is a change in your ordinance. So it would still, it's a public hearing, actually, it should be under the public hearing, I didn't catch that, but so what it will do, we did put out notification and everything. So you open it up to the public, if there's no public comments, then you just need to vote to approve.
Do we need a vote at this?
Yeah, so
As
this,
a-
yeah, so you'd have to pass this, and then it
Okay.
needs to actually go to town council as well.
Oh, good. Something I'll add to it. Alrighty, okay, anybody got any questions for her on this? All right, then I request for a vote.
I'm assuming no one in public wants to talk about it. Okay, just making sure.
We approved, I have a second.
Second.
Emily seconds it, okay, all in favor of approving this as written, please say aye. Aye. So approved.
And do you guys just wanna take it to town council, or do you need?
And we're right here, so
Okay.
we can.
Yeah,
Okay, great,
carry right
thank you.
over.
so I just need to have them vote to approve the new ordinance.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay, well, we don't really have any old business, so we're gonna go to the new business. Okay, the property and structures at 202 South Railroad.
I took pictures of the property. We had some complaints about the dirt piles and the construction equipment. And as you can see in the pictures that are there, Mr. Maddox was here. He wanted to talk about what his plan was on the property.
Please.
Yes, my plans, those dirt piles or stone piles.
Well, sir, I need you, for the record, to state your name, your address, please.
Okay, Wilfredo Madrigal, live on 7177 East State Road, 218.
All right, thank you. Go ahead.
I'll get back with those stone piles. My plans are getting everything leveled out and compacted, and I'm thinking of doing a pole barn that are like a 30 by 48. And this is what I got this laid out right here.
Now, will that include tearing down the?
Tear down that metal shed, yeah, that
okay.
shed and
You're
everything.
gonna park your equipment in there, will you?
Yes.
That's what your plan
doing
is?
it, yes.
Okay,
Now, are you running your business out of it,
No,
or just
that was
storage?
just for storage, yeah.
So he's basically got the dirt there. He's storing it because the slope is towards
Right.
Railroad Street. So he wants to
Bring it
build
up.
that out.
I don't know what the museum.
What the size of it?
No, for not having, I mean, is that considered the primary structure?
It can be, I mean, it depends, we'd have to read it to see in that district. So it may, depending upon what all he's doing in there, if he's just using it as an accessory, it may have to go to BZA, but we'll look at it.
you have to
When you
what?
come and talk to
Okay.
us. He may have to go to the Board of Zoning Appeals
Oh,
because of it not being a primary structure, but we'll have to talk to him more and figure out what all he's planning on doing.
Oh, you're not putting the foundation down then?
Well, meaning that typically in a residential district, like I said, I'd have to go look, but typically in a residential district, you have to have a house before you can have an accessory structure.
Oh, okay.
That's in most districts, I don't know.
Yeah, that's why I asked if you're running a business out of it,
No.
because if it's not, you need to change it to business instead of residential.
Well, it'd be residential, 'cause there was a house there
Mhm.
at one
Yeah.
time.
Right, that's what I mean,
Down.
it's zoned as a residential, so
Right,
yeah.
if you're gonna run your business out of it, we'd have to change it to
No, just for
business.
storage.
Okay.
But even on typically, and I don't know specifically his lot, but typically if you don't have a residence on the lot, you can't do an accessory structure without
No.
residence, so. But again, we'll talk to him more, he knows to come talk to us, but he wanted to let you guys know he
Okay.
does have plans,
All right, that's,
for the unsafe portion.
What do you think of building it, just whenever you get to it, or?
Here, probably start on it here, I'm thinking within a month and a half. So, let's tear that shed down first, get that taken care of, get cleaned up and then, well, go talk
well,
to
first
them
I gotta
and see.
check on whether that's, yeah,
Okay.
authorized or not, okay.
You'll still have to vote on it, whether you wanna clear it, and it's okay the way it is until he goes to the BZA or
Oh.
whatever he has to do.
Here
You
we
still
go,
have to vote.
Yeah, you guys are only looking at it through the unsafe portion, that's what
Right.
you're looking at today, so if you're
Is
okay
that
with
shed, is
him.
that closed off to, I mean, is the door?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's always been my main concern,
Okay.
so. Okay, so we have motion then to,
Well, the city's plan, but, you know, he's gotta let us know why the piles are there.
yeah, just let him continue and the,
So your options are basically you can continue it to the June meeting. and then revisit what he's doing, and then you can clear it at that time, cause he'll know more about his permit and what he can
What you
do,
do, whether you can or can't.
if you wanna
Yeah.
do that.
Okay,
I'll make a motion to put it off for a June meeting, and that gives him a couple, 3 months to,
get things in order.
like I said, he'll
Talk to you guys.
Yeah.
know what's going on by then, he can come to us. That good, Willie?
Yeah, that's
All right.
All right, I have a motion,
I'll second it.
and we got a second.
To June?
To June, yes. June meeting. Anybody else have any questions before I go forward on that? Forgot to ask that. Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
So pass it. All right, thank you, sir. Now, that done, we are open now for anybody on the floor, anybody wish to have anything to.
There was some confusion because she's in the fringe of Walton, and typically zoning would come to you guys, but the unsafe goes to county when it's in the fringe. So she got 2 separate letters, on whether to come here or come to the meeting tomorrow, so that's why she's here. But she's not on your agenda, so there was just a mix-up in our office.
Oh, I see, okay. So we know which way to go then.
Yeah, cause
Okay.
of it being in the fringe of Walton.
Okay. Does anybody on the board have anything they wish to bring to the attention of the board? None?
I'm still working with Home Depot. I talked to
I'm glad you said that because I forgot
Ryan
about
a
that.
couple of weeks ago, and he said because we're asking for like a little over $2,000 to help with that roof
Yes.
repair, that it's taken a little bit longer because that's more than they usually get a request for. He gave it to his boss,
Yeah,
and he said usually it only takes a month or so, but it's over 2 months old, so
well,
he
thank
said
you.
he's still working on it, so.
I'm
and then
gonna
as soon as
go
we
in
get-
and follow up with him.
Okay, well, I appreciate it because I totally forgot about that.
And then I'll get with, Church and see if they can help out with the manpower.
Okay. Sounds good. Anybody have anything else that was bringing? No, then I'm gonna ask for a motion for adjournment.
Make a motion?
Motion, and a second, please.
Second.
Second is okay, all in favor?
Aye.
So be it. Thank you very much for being here.
Yeah.